Never feel sorry for yourself. That's how I usually end my videos. I say stay strong, love life, and never feel sorry for yourself. I first started saying this about a year ago, more than a year ago, on my newsletter slash blog, Existential Espresso. For more than a year, I've been ending every Monday edition of Existential Espresso by saying thank you for reading, stay strong, love life, and never feel sorry for yourself. So it only made sense to translate this phrase, this message of encouragement, as I see it, and empowerment to my YouTube channel. And it was already on Existential Espresso that I have been asked by people, why do I say this last part, never feel sorry for yourself? Because it seems that stay strong and love life makes sense for people, but never feel sorry for yourself doesn't make sense for everyone. So it was already back then that I was asked to explain this last phrase, and now on YouTube, it was a viewer who goes by the discreet and mysterious username Q who asked or requested that I explain why the never feel sorry for yourself part. So here it is, an explanation why I think that you should never feel sorry for yourself. But first, let's change to a more comfortable setting. Never feel sorry for yourself. It is a message that is, as you probably guessed it, personal. As everything that I write and talk about, it's not something that I read and felt like if I talk about it is going to get me views and likes. It's not something that I felt that if I talk about it or write about it is going to make me sound smart. It says everything that I write and talk about something that is personal, relevant to my life, maybe my life currently or my past, and I felt that other humans can relate to it and hopefully get some value from it. Feeling sorry for yourself is something that I have been thinking about for a long time, longer than I have been reading philosophy or psychology, far longer than I have been writing online. Feeling sorry for yourself is something that I have witnessed in people around me, and that prompted me to start thinking about different responses to life's misfortune, life's unfairness at times. Although that's a topic to discuss, an argument to be had. Is life unfair? Do we have the right to say that it's unfair? But nevertheless, life's misfortunes and tragedies, witnessing how different people deal with it differently or deal with them differently, prompted me to think about what are the different responses to suffering. And one response that caught my attention early on was feeling sorry for oneself. I have witnessed loved ones suffer. I have witnessed loved ones suffer great misfortune and even tragedy. And I have witnessed loved ones and close people deal with those things differently. I have witnessed those who were beacons of light and hope and encouragement to others. The way that they dealt with their suffering and misfortune and tragedy gave hope to the rest of us that if we were dealing with the same thing, that we can stand strong. And if we dealt with something similar or same in the future, we were reminded that our loved one was able to stand strong, that that person remained strong and, equally important, maintained their dignity in the face of great suffering. And that helped us deal with what we were facing. On the other hand, I have witnessed loved ones and close people feel sorry for themselves in the face of suffering, misfortune, and tragedy. Those two responses are like the two extreme opposites. And as I have thought back then, but wasn't really aware of what I was thinking, I was only aware of what I was feeling while I was looking at those people go through life. What I was feeling back then and what I feel now and think now is that one of the most impressive things that a human being can do in this life, in this world, is stand strong and maintain their dignity, their human dignity in the face of suffering. And one of the most, and I don't like using this word, but I have to use it, one of the most pathetic things that a person can do in this life, in this world, is to feel sorry for themselves. if you were triggered by the word pathetic, I want to expand on this, because let me put it out there right now. Every single human being who lives long enough will have a moment or a period of life where they have a valid reason, argument, excuse to feel sorry for themselves. But I want to make the case that we should never use that valid reason to feel sorry for ourselves. So when I say pathetic, let me explain why. Feeling sorry for yourself is not just about you having a weak response, because it is a weak response to suffering and misfortune. We all have our moments of weakness. It's the attitude that persists and maintains that's the problem. It was first time when I read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning that I finally found someone else discussing different responses to suffering. Up to that point, I was first a child who was too young to be talking about those things with anyone else, and then I was a lost teenager who wasn't able to express what he was feeling and thinking about. It was only when I found Man's Search for Meaning where for the first time I was able to interact, because that's how I see books. I see them as interaction. Even though I was not able to speak to Viktor Frankl, reading that book was like finally meeting a long lost friend. In that book he discusses how different prisoners, his fellow prisoners of concentration camps, had different responses to being there, to being a prisoner of a concentration camp. And one thing that stuck with me was that he said, even in the midst of that great suffering and that unfairness and that tragedy, even if they had nothing that they could physically do to change their situation, there was always a choice to be made to maintain their human dignity. That really resonated with me, because I haven't witnessed people in concentration camps, but I have witnessed people suffering greatly, and I know it immediately resonated with me because it clicked. That's it. That's what I have been admiring in those loved ones, maintaining their dignity. And that's what I have been, I don't want to say despising, but slowly growing to feel immense distaste for. That's it. People who are unable to maintain their dignity. And why now? Because Viktor Frankl never mentions feeling sorry for oneself. So how I connect those things? Feeling sorry for yourself is a precursor to resentment. That's how I see it. And resentment is one of the worst states that a human being can be in. Feeling sorry for yourself starts off as the attitude of life is unfair, I didn't deserve this, I have it hard. Okay, you could say there are people who should think like that and who have all the right to think like that. Okay, fair enough. But if we maintain the attitude of feeling sorry for ourselves, how does this attitude evolve? From this stance of life is unfair towards me and I have it hard, the next step is comparing yourself to other people and saying, not only do I have it hard, not only is life unfair to me, other people have it better. For other people, life is fair or even more than fair. They have it good or they have it better than they deserve. That's the next stage. And then the final stage, where I believe feeling sorry for yourself grows into resentment. Not only you are comparing yourself with others and you think that you have it worse than them, you have it harder than others, and they have it good or better than they deserve, you come to the point where you don't want anyone to have it good if you are not having it the way you want it to be. That's the final stage of feeling sorry for yourself. It's you're not able to be happy for other people's success, good fortune, happiness, stability in life. Not only that you're not able to be happy for them, you wish that they don't have their happiness, love, joy, stability, good fortune. It's undeniably the last stage of feeling sorry for yourself. You cannot maintain the attitude of feeling sorry for yourself without arriving at this point. Resentment. And this is how Viktor Frankl and Friedrich Nietzsche shaped me, because it was in Nietzsche that I also, something that I have observed in other people but was not able to articulate it. I found it articulated in Nietzsche, resentment, or as he writes it, ressentiment. This awful, poisonous inner state. And he puts it, I will try to quote him, but probably I will not be able to completely replicate the quote. He says that resentful people think in a way, if I cannot have what I want, if I cannot be what I want, then no one else is to have anything, is to be anything. It's basically, if I cannot have it, my life, the way I want it to be, then the whole world deserves to burn. This is the resentful person. And this starts off with feeling sorry for yourself. And this is why, it's interesting when people idolize the Joker. He is the ultimate resentful person. He's the most pathetic character ever. And I'm saying this as someone who, I love Joker as a character. I have loved him way back from old school Batman cartoons, if you remember the original Joker design. But to idolize him, what people massively do nowadays, idolize him and root for him. If you know his backstory, he had it rough, so he went insane because the society is actually messed up. Society is messed up, and his life was difficult. But he is the most pathetic. He's the most pathetic person ever. He wants to see the world burn. He wants to see the society go down because he suffered. And you idolize that. Maybe not you watching this, but a lot of people do. A lot of people actively root for him. Again, I understand how appealing he is as a character, his design and his unpredictability. Maybe that speaks to what this society needs a little bit. We have grown tired of predictable superheroes who all fit the same mold. So Joker is someone that brought something refreshing to modern myth. But to idolize him, to root for him, you're rooting for the most pathetic creature who went on that journey from feeling sorry for himself to growing resentful and wanting to watch the world burn. Now, this was a rant or a side-tracking to me analyzing Joker as a character, but hopefully it still fits what we are talking about. Feeling sorry for yourself is a precursor to resentment. This is one of the first reasons why I always say never feel sorry for yourself, because I have, through this inner journey that I've just explained, observing other people, having Viktor Frankl and Nietzsche kind of provide me with proper articulation for what I was feeling. All of that led to me shaping this as one of my ultimate commandments that I have placed upon myself. Never feel sorry for yourself. Never feel, because it's not as innocent as just thinking that you have it hard. It's not as benign as thinking that life is unfair. It's a dangerous journey that you're embarking on if you want to maintain the attitude of feeling sorry for yourself. That's the first reason. The second reason is that I have had people feel sorry for me and feed me with reasons, with excuses to start feeling sorry for myself. I touched briefly on my personal story in one of recent videos, and I don't want now to go too deep into that. As everyone watching this, I have suffered, you have suffered as well. And as I said, we all have our moments of life, periods of life where we have a valid excuse to feel sorry for ourselves. What I noticed in that period of my life is that it became tempting to start feeling sorry for myself, even though I had already developed the idea of I should never feel sorry for myself. Although it was already high on my personal hierarchy of values, it was tempting to start feeling sorry for myself. It was tempting because I had a reason. As I said, everyone has a reason at some point to feel sorry for themselves. But besides that, I have sort of received a green light from my surroundings. I have received a green light to feel sorry for myself. And when you receive a green light from other people who say to you basically it's okay to feel sorry for yourself, then it becomes tempting. It becomes tempting because it's not just you who thinks that you have a valid excuse. You have a approval from others to start feeling sorry for yourself, and it starts getting tempting. It starts being tempting. So in that period of time, while actively battling with not succumbing to this temptation to start feeling sorry for myself, I have been able to observe in me what I was observing earlier in my life in other people. Because internally, I have been feeling out different options. How will my life play out? How will my personal development play out if I allow myself to feel sorry for myself, or if I maintain the attitude of I have to stand strong in the face of this and I have to be an example for my loved ones. I have been playing with different options in my mind. How will I turn out if I choose this way or that way, this path or that path? And it was an even stronger realization than while watching other people. Now it was more personal. Now I was able to see, because if there is a part of me that wants to feel sorry for itself, wants me to feel sorry for myself, I can see this part growing slowly if I allow it to grow. And I can see, this is why I always say you have to pay attention to your internal dialogue or monologue, however you perceive it. You have to pay attention to your inner talk, because throughout the day, if I allow this part of myself, if I allow it to grow, I see how my reactions to how other people live their life are starting to slowly but surely be resentful. I have noticed how if I grab this opportunity, because I have been given the green light to feel sorry for myself, if I grab this opportunity, I could see myself becoming that resentful person that I have observed in others earlier in my life. I could see that tragic story of person who deserves respect, and now I'm putting myself as someone who deserved respect at that point. Someone who deserves respect falling in the eyes of others, and falling, most importantly, in one's own eyes. Because that's what I have seen earlier. I have seen people who have gained great respect and even admiration from others. I have seen them fall because they have felt sorry for themselves and eventually grew resentful. So I could predict myself becoming that person. And I have seen how dangerous it was that other people, not out of bad intention, gave me the green light to feel sorry for myself. So if the first reason was, as explained, me developing this idea, how there are different responses to suffering, and how feeling sorry for yourself eventually leads you to you becoming resentful, and how dangerous that is. The second reason why I promote not feeling sorry for yourself is because I have seen how dangerous the opposite is, how dangerous it is to give someone the green light. Which brings me to the last reason why I say never feel sorry for yourself. If I care about you, and I know this might sound strange, because who are we to each other? I'm talking to the camera, you're looking at the screen, but you have supported me, and I don't know if it's hard to believe or not, but I genuinely do care about every single one of you. If I do care about you, you who are taking the time to read something that I wrote and to listen and watch to this, if I do care about you, one of the most important things is to say, never feel sorry for yourself, because there will be maybe thousands of days where that means nothing to you because your life is relatively stable. But there will be one day or a whole period of time where you will need to be reminded of this. And I want to remind you, I don't want to be the person who is going to tap you on your back and say, oh, you really have it hard, I feel sorry for you. And between the lines to say, you should feel sorry for yourself. I will never be that person for anyone in my life. That's a decision, a commitment that I have made. I will never be the person who allows, not only, I don't want to encourage others to feel sorry for themselves. If you are giving me your attention, whether in the real world or online, I will not allow you to feel sorry for yourself. Because that's one of the greatest disservices that you can do to another person. I'm going to keep saying this because there is going to be a person, and there probably is every day a person who needs to be reminded of this. So I feel like every time I say this, maybe the arrow that I'm sending is going to miss 1,000 people, but it's going to hit one person who needs to hear it at this moment in their life. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Never feel sorry for yourself. So if you don't need this message right now, great. But I think you will need it at some point in your life. And maybe you have needed it in the past. That's okay. Now I'm going to keep reminding you so that you continue this train, so that you don't allow others to feel sorry for themselves, so that you don't encourage others to feel sorry for themselves. That's how I see it. That's why this is one of the most important messages that I have to share. You know, there are a lot of things, a lot of messages that I would like to share as my closing message. Stay strong, love life, and there are so many things that come to mind, you know, so many things. Remain playful, stay curious, embrace courage, live with passion. So many things that I would like to say, but this one cannot be missed. Never feel sorry for yourself. Those are the reasons why I say this. I don't know how this video will come out once it's uploaded, because I tend to go on these rants, and this was sort of a freestyle. I just wanted to share what's on my mind and heart when I write and say never feel sorry for yourself. But I hope my argument was structured enough to provide you with the reasons why you should never feel sorry for yourself. So to sum it up, feeling sorry for yourself is a precursor to resentment. You cannot maintain the attitude of feeling sorry for yourself without becoming a resentful person who wishes suffering on others. Next, receiving a green light for feeling sorry for yourself is tempting. So if it's tempting and dangerous for you, you should never accept that green light and also never give that green light to others. It's a difficult position to be in because you will be seen at times as lacking empathy. But it's a duty and responsibility, if you care about someone, not to encourage them to feel sorry for themselves, and also, if you want to take it a step further, not to allow them to feel sorry for themselves. This is a position that I have decided to take, and it's a commitment that I will maintain for the rest of my life. So that's it. Comment. Let me know what you think about this idea. Let me know if this is what you expected, this is what you had in mind when you hear me say never feel sorry for yourself, or you thought that my message was something else. I would like to hear your thoughts on if you agree or disagree that we should never give green light to others to feel sorry for themselves. Subscribe, like, and as always, stay strong, love life, and never feel sorry for yourself. Thank you.